Hey everybody, Greg Casillo from FroKnowsPhoto.com, and I'm going to be going over folders and collections today and some of the differences and some of the cool things that you can do, especially with collections, because they're really powerful. But let's start off with folders. As I've discussed before, I like to name my folders like this with the year and the month and the day and the subject and the type of file, that kind of thing, or the event type. And that's just the way that I like to do it. Then you'll have a nice long list, and it's easy for me to be able to find stuff because I know approximately when I shot it, or I can always do a search. But that's just the way that I like to have it listed. Then my folders will also match on my drive. So if I would ever need to find something, or my catalog got corrupted and I need to go back and find pictures, I can always find them individually outside of a catalog or through Adobe Bridge or something along those lines if I really needed to. So that system really works well for me, and I've turned a couple other people onto that lately, and it seems as if it works well for them too. It just kind of makes sense to them, and so hopefully you might try it out yourself, and it might make sense to you. Now we can't. There's a few restrictions with regards to the folders. You can't stack photos from multiple folders or multiple drives. As you see listed here, I have 3 drives that are in here that I've photos added from my boot drive, from this other Lightroom disk that I have labeled here, as well as this X drive, which is my 2009 and 2010 catalog of images. Just the images, not my Lightroom catalog, that is. So, that's pretty much all you can do. If you want to drag it from here and put it in here, that means that you're going to end up with photos actually physically being moved, and that's why you get that warning dialog box. Do you really want to move these photos? Hopefully you have that turned on. I leave that on. Like if I want to drag this from here to here, I always want to be warned. If I would accidentally drag that, I don't want it to just happen. I want to be warned, so I'll never check this on moving a file from disk to disk. Or even from folder to folder, I think it even warns. Yeah, exactly. So I want to be warned so that I don't accidentally drag and move them. So that's folders. That's really all there is to it. Just a nice, neat way of sorting them. Just think of this as your filing cabinet. Okay, this is your filing cabinet right here. You always have them nice and neat and sorted. So next thing, collections. We can do a lot of stuff with collections. First thing that we might want to do, let's create a smart collection for 2009. Okay, so we'll do 2009, and let's find our capture date, and is in the range. It might be that looks like, yep, that looks like my best one to choose. So we're going to say 2009 0101. Oops, forgot my dash. And then we're going to do 2009 12/31. Forgot my dash again. And we're going to say create. And look, we have 14 photos that were taken in 2009. Nice and easy. That makes it simple. If you needed this type of a collection, if you go back to this type of a location often, that's what you want to do. You want to create that type of collection. Obviously, a dated one is great for people that have multiple years of catalogs, or they have a single catalog with everything in it. I have all of my photos inside of separate catalogs, especially for set up by year. So 2009, 2008, 2007, 2010, they all have separate catalogs. So this isn't one that would really be good for me. Next thing we're going to create is a collection set, and that collection set just holds other collections inside of it, whether it be smart collections or whether it be regular collections. So we're going to call one weddings set. So now we have a set, and as you see, we have this little drop down thing here. It looks kind of like a filing cabinet or a drawer, which is awesome. Next thing, we're going to create another smart collection. And in that smart collection, we're going to call it weddings. And what we're going to do is choose our keywords contains wedding. And we're going to make our set be wedding set. And we're going to hit create. And there you go. All the photos that are keyworded with wedding are in there. Perfect. Now let's create one more. Create collection set. And this one is, oops, we don't want set. What am I doing? We want create smart collection. And we're going to say brides inside of the wedding set. And we're going to say bride in here. And then we're going to hit create. And as you can see now, we have a lot less photos because these are the ones with the brides in them. So that, again, that would be a nice way to go. But you could very easily sort this by some of the smart collections that are already here without keywords. These without keywords, don't know why there's two of them here. Probably because I imported photos from other catalogs. That's probably what's going on, why they're doubled up here. But normally you wouldn't have double. 5 stars. 5 stars to me are my best work from either an individual shoot or kind of portfolio stuff. But you could utilize some of these past month, recently modified. Without keywords could be really, really good, especially if you want to keep up with your keywording. Then you can come back here and refer to this. Oh, I'm slacking. I might have 10 or 15 photos in here without a keyword in them, so I need to add those in there. I've also used them for my other fields of metadata, such as my GPS information, so I could quickly see which photos have it and which photos don't. So we've gone over our smart collections and what they can and can't, well, some of the stuff that they can do. Can't do, sometimes I have some limitations with regards to the keywords or the sorting or stuff, but there's usually a way around it because there's so much in here. Usually the searchable exif for IPTC is a good way, is kind of a default or something along those lines if it doesn't work, or any searchable text is another really good one if it doesn't work. You know, if some of these other ones aren't giving you the results that you want, sometimes you'll end up with any searchable text or you know, one of these searchable IPTC or exif. Alright, so let's create a manual one. Creating a manual collection is just like you'd think, a manual collection. Alright, we don't want it in that set. We hit create. Now, we can then just take individual photos, okay, and we can then drag them into this folder. Okay, so we are just clicking and dragging and putting them in. Now, there's a faster way to do that. You can then assign this to be the target collection. You've probably seen this thing a million times. If you ever right-clicked on a manual collection, you can set it as the target collection. By default, your quick collection is your target. I'm sorry, your quick collection by default is your target collection. That's what that little plus sign is for. But when we have a manual collection, we can set it as the target. Then, when we're going through our photos, which is, again, really awesome, we can choose them and use the B key to choose them and add them. And then we can also remove them with the B key. Okay, there it says remove from target collection, add, remove. So using the B key allows you to add and remove once you've set that target, and also changes color, as you see down here, which is really cool. It makes it really easy. It's a great way. I use the keyboard shortcuts a lot, especially in Lightroom and Photoshop, so that's a big one to me. Well, I think that is everything. I'm sure I'll do another expanded collection thing as a video as I go along. There's always more stuff that I find. Keep shooting, keep taking photos. Greg Casillo, FroKnowsPhoto.com. See ya.